and gentlemen, when under direct attack, simply delay, downplay and deflect. It's a tried and tested formula of our system, for our politicians, for our police, for even our institutions. A 3-year-old is raped in her school, deny the rape. Say the child's hymen is broken because she was riding a bicycle. Then make the parents wait for 12 hours to file an FIR. This happened in Badlapur in Maharashtra. A 31-year-old doctor is raped and brutalized and killed in her hospital. First reaction, say it was a suicide. Then file an FIR 14 hours later. Essentially, do everything to brush the crime under the carpet so you can save your own skin. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how our system operates. Justice is not a concern for them. The victim is not a priority for them. Saving their skin is. The system cannot cover up these cover-ups anymore, ladies and gentlemen, because the courts in India have exposed them thoroughly today. The Supreme Court, while hearing the Kolkata rape and murder case, has said it has not seen a case like this in 30 years. It has asked the police a simple question. Why did it take 14 hours to file an FIR? It has asked why the principal didn't file an FIR and waited for the parents to do so. It asked if the principal was trying to hide something. The Supreme Court also asked, who is it in the hospital who tried to pass off this brutal murder and rape as suicide? It asked how an autopsy was performed without a complaint. Have you ever heard of an autopsy being performed without a formal police complaint? It happened in Calcutta. The Supreme Court wants to know why. The Supreme Court has also asked why the crime scene, that is the seminar hall, was secured only after the autopsy. It asked why the principal was being protected instead of being punished. Listen in to the Chief Justice of India, asking questions that the country has been asking for the last 13 days now.
DD entry, it says 5:42, 10:10 a.m.
Yes.
It says received information over the telephone.
Yes.
Arjikor MCH police outpost that a lady of PG trainee of so MCH was found lying in unconscious state at seminar room of chest medicine department on third floor of emergency building in half-naked condition. Accordingly informed so-and-so officer in charge and under his order,
Yes.
leaving PS with lady police and force for causing inquiry. This is at 10:10 a.m.
Correct.
Just allow me to intervene.
Now, one second.
The doctors are saying unconscious, though she was already dead.
1 second.
You
Now,
don't need to be a doctor to understand.
This is 5:42.
Yes.
Now, next is 5:76. Now,
Yeah,
5:76 is extremely important. The PM examination over, the dead body of the deceased, the board verbally opined that the death of the deceased was due to the effect of manual strangulation associated with smothering, ante-mortem, and homicidal in nature.
Correct.
Also verbally opined that medical evidence of forceful penetration stroke insertion in her genitalia, possibility of sexual assault. They say possibility. Accordingly, PO has been cordoned under proper guard. Also, several witnesses were examined and the statement was recorded, consulted CCTV footages in and around the vicinity of the PO.
Yes.
One thing, therefore, which is very clear is that the cordoning off and the preservation of the crime scene takes place after the post-mortem report is conducted. This is what the GD entry itself says. After return to PS, under order of OC, and UD case has been registered, Vide Tala UD case number 9th August.
So this is how it is
Now it's very clear.
confirmed that it was
No.
23:30 hours.
Page number 2. Just see page number
No, but
2.
this is the case diary.
No,
It shows that the UD case is registered
No, that's
after he returned to the police station.
Now, as the Chief Justice of India was talking tough to the Mamata Banerjee government, the High Court in Maharashtra was exposing the cover-up in Badlapur, where a toddler was raped in her school and another 4-year-old was assaulted. The court asked, why were parents made to wait for 12 hours before filing an FIR? Why was the second victim not mentioned in the FIR? Why is there no case against the school that did its best to downplay the rape? Ladies and gentlemen, the point is simple. It is the school and the police's job to protect a rapist. Is it? Or is it their job to protect and ensure justice for the little girls who have been raped? When the system starts the cover-ups, you know which side they are on. Let me go across to Dushyant Dave, who is joining us on the broadcast for a very quick chat. Mr. Dave, you're a very senior lawyer. You have seen the law and the way the law functions and the way our law enforcement agencies function for many, many years. Can I ask you this? Why is the basic instinct of the system, of the police, of governments, of institutions to cover up when a crime happens? Whether you see it in Badlapur, in Maharashtra, whether you see it in Kolkata, or whether you see it in Unnao and Hathras in Uttar Pradesh. Why is the first instinct cover up, chupa do, daba do?
I'll tell you something. I mean, it's really heartening that the Supreme Court has taken suo motu cognizance of this case, and so has the Bombay High Court in respect of Badlapur. But I would definitely like to ask a question to the Honorable Chief Justice of India. You are now making right sounds about what's happening, the failure of the police, the administration. But I will give you shocking figures. In last few years, between 2015 to 2022, the number of POCSO cases have increased 217% from 71,552 to 226,728. But what is more shocking is that the average disposal of these cases, including rape cases, by judiciary across the country is dismal low. For example, in Delhi, in 2020 and 2021, only 1% of cases were decided. In Gujarat, from where Justice Pardiwala comes, is rightly anguished, in 2019, 5%, 2020, 1%, 2021, 3%. What are these judges doing about their own judges' failures? It is really speaking the failure of the judicial system which is really leading to this problem. Yes, it is a societal problem. It is a problem of culture. It is indeed a problem of failure of the police. I admit that. And nobody can countenance that. But with so many cases pending, if the judiciary to start cracking whip and start sending these people to jail in fast track manner, because they have now created fast track, courts across the country, hundreds and hundreds of them. Lots of money is being spent on them. But has Chief Justice Chandrachud even asked one question? What are these fast track courts doing in terms of results? No, because he has no time. With great respect to Chief Justice and the Supreme Court, let me tell you, the real problem is failure of the judicial system. And Justice Oka, only 2 days back, wrote that Calcutta High Court Division Bench found that there was a settlement between a 14-year-old girl and her rapist. And they were anguished about it. Now, who are the judges who are appointing these judges to high courts? The collegium of the Supreme Court? See, you have now created a system of judiciary which only wants to give lecture to the world, but never wants to introspect. I have very serious grievance about this. Where were the judges when Hathras took place? A Dalit girl was raped. Her rapists were acquitted. For days together, the family was not allowed to meet opposition leaders or journalists. Kappan, journalist from Kerala, spent more than 2 years in jail. Why did they not take suo motu action? On the contrary, when it was handed over to CBI, they came to Supreme Court, Uttar Pradesh government. So, this is complete hypocrisy on the part of judiciary. There is no consistency about their approach, unfortunately. If they were to take a very straight line approach to ensure that justice is given to the victim as quickly as possible, I mean, just imagine 274,000 cases of POSCO alone with minor children pending. How many more rape cases must be pending? And how many are not reported? See, if you create a situation where people know that law is going to take its own course and we will get, a punishment, then people will have fear. Today, there is no fear of God, but the fear of law has disappeared, and that's in our hands. So I am really, I must say.
So, Dave, the point you're making is, yes, there is a systemic failure. Yes, the system tries to brush it under the carpet, whether it's the police or institutions or governments and politicians. But the judiciary of India has to take blame as well. Because if they were acting fast enough, there would be some fear of the law. You've spoken about hypocrisy. There is some news coming in on that, because as we speak, ladies and gentlemen, and Mr. Dave, I'd like you to stay on and just comment on this as well. Mamata Banerjee, who's already under fire from the Supreme Court, has now written to the Prime Minister of this country, asking him to bring a central law that will ensure that rape cases are fast-tracked. She wants the trial in rape cases completed and the accused an exemplary punishment in 15 days. Ladies and gentlemen, do remember, this is from a chief minister who has done everything to protect the principal of a college, who did not even bother to file an FIR after his own student was found raped and murdered inside the hospital. In fact, in the latest move, he has been moved as an OSD to the health department. Who's the health minister of West Bengal? Mamata Banerjee. Mr. Dave, would you want to comment on it? You were talking about hypocrisy. You talking about fast-track courts. That's exactly what Mamata Banerjee is doing, saying 15 din mein sab khatam kar. You look at what she's saying as a hypocrisy.
Let us understand one thing. What Mamata Banerjee is doing must be condemned. Nobody can, dispute that. Her, delay in taking action is frankly very sad. But it happened in Hathras in Uttar Pradesh. The CBI gave its finding that UP police was involved. Nobody raised. Media was silent. The national media was silent while Kapan was being sent to jail. This very media which is shouting on the top of the voice today, because it is a non-BJP government. Where it was a BJP government, the media remained silent. Every Supreme Court remained silent. I am sorry to tell you, Mamata Banerjee must be condemned, but you must equally condemn other state governments which are run by BJP government, including Maharashtra. What has Maharashtra government done? So, these are all, let us forget politics. We are talking about women. Women are at a receiving end in this country. We must create, if we can't create a culture of respecting women, because we are still a feudal society and we still treat our women as chattels, we must at least have an administration of justice, a rule of law, which is able to protect our women. Do you realize that today no woman in any village, town or city can walk after 7 o'clock in the evening alone without being, commented upon by hooligans standing on the streets? I mean, it is for them, it is really difficult to live even in the best of the cities. So, what about the villages? It's really unfortunate. I frankly feel that this kind of, certainly nobody can defend Mamata Banerjee and what has happened, in West Bengal. It must be condemned, and they must be brought to justice instantly. With DNA technology available, you can really, try them quickly. And, you can have really fast-track courts which can give justice in 3 months. But just see the figures. In every state, fast-track courts are between 1% to 30% only, deciding cases in last 4 years. I mean, what kind of judicial system you have? And then judges have gumption to attack, make comments about police failure and other failures. Of course, police fails because police, unfortunately, is completely politicized. Today, you must understand one thing, that the regular protection of citizen is absent. Only VIPs are protected. The entire police force in the country today is geared to protect the so-called VIPs. Even the Honorable Chief Justice now travels in a convoy of 4 or 5 vehicles, which earlier I have seen when I came to Supreme Court in 86. They had no such car piloting them or behind them. My mother was a High Court judge. We didn't have a single policeman at our house. So, everybody must share their responsibility. We must ensure that police today is available to create a law and order situation first, where fear disappears for women. Today, almost every woman in every place lives under fear when she walks or takes a bus or goes into a store or into market. I mean, let us understand that yes, I agree what happened in West Bengal is extremely sad. I feel so sorry for that girl. I mean, I pray for her soul to rest in peace. And I must say that her perpetrators must be brought to justice forthwith. Forget this principal. I mean, principal has not raped her. Whatever he may have done, he's a man who deserves to be punished for different reasons. Same thing in Maharashtra. Perpetrators must be punished, and we pray for those girls that they should have a very peaceful, because these scars are impossible to remove from young child's mind for rest of her life. So with these 274,000 POCSO cases, you really need today a very different kind of a fight by judiciary, by police, by social activists, by media, but it should be balanced. Don't politicize it. Today, entire media is saying as if Mamata Banerjee has raped her. Of course, I mean, Mamata Banerjee is chief minister of a state where 10 crore people live. For every year, she is not responsible. Will you hold Yogi Adityanath responsible for Hathras? Because
but Mr.
You
Fair
can't.
enough, but Mr. Dave, she is responsible for what happens after that. She is responsible for what happens after that.
Listen, what happens, I don't know.
She's responsible. She's responsible for having principal transferred to another hospital or rehabilitating him in the health ministry. So she's responsible for what happens after the rape.
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. I'm not here to defend Mamata Banerjee. She's guilty. But as chief minister, I'm sure she didn't pass the order of transferring. She's chief minister. She doesn't pass these kind of orders. I mean, let us understand that so many people have died recently. Are you going to hold Prime Minister responsible for what happens in Jammu and Kashmir, where our brave soldiers are dying every week? No. These are all part of administration. Let us understand, stop politicizing. Concentrate on issue and protect our women as best as we can collectively. That's what is important. What is really sad today is that we are,
Mr. Dave.
1 week, all that you can see on television is West Bengal, West Bengal, West Bengal, as if there's nothing else left in the country. Nobody speaks.
Even Badlapur? But even Badlapur?
That's 10%.
But even Badlapur?
90% is West Bengal.
No, that's not true actually.
Badlapur, why don't you hold chief minister responsible?
Look.
So, I am not saying.
Of course he is.
I have no
He's responsible for the cover-up. It's happened in Thane, which is his own constituency. But Mr. Dave, I get the point you're trying to make. You're trying to say that don't politicize this. But the fact is, in India, everything gets politicized whether you like it or not. And our police is politicized whether you like it or not. And you're saying the judicial system needs to look within itself as well instead of giving lectures. I take that point as well. Because you're pointing to the POCSO cases and the conviction rates there.
No, take for example media. Electronic rights are public, airwaves. Print rights are public properties. And the media therefore has a responsibility to make sure that public interest is subserved. Media cannot, polarize itself. Media cannot be politicized. Unfortunately, what is happening today, I have seen Hathras.
Mr. Dave.
I was so sad when Hathras was being reported that Dalit girl was, raped and killed, and Supreme Court was unmoved.
I remember Hathras. I also remember the way. Mr. Dave, I remember Hathras. I remember the way it was covered. I remember that there was an attempt to downplay it. I completely remember that and agree with you. But just because that happened in Hathras doesn't mean it should happen in West Bengal as well, right? It's a good thing that everyone is playing up what has happened in West Bengal and in Maharashtra as well.
Yes, I agree. Let us collectively create an environment when every woman, child or adult is protected in this country by law as best as we can, by judges, by police and by media and by citizens. So that it is important that we can create an atmosphere of safety for them.
We leave it there, Mr. Dave. Always good to have you on the show. Thank you very much for joining us with your perspective.
Bye-bye.
Let's get to our guest this evening, Dr. Nikhil Prasoon is spokesperson of the BJP. Joining us on the broadcast, we have Tausif Ur Rahman, spokesperson of the TMC. Clyde Crasto is national spokesperson of NCP of the Sharad Pawar faction. Mr. P.K. Jain is a former additional DGP of Maharashtra. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Tausif or Rahman, I find this very intriguing and interesting. Mamata Banerjee, who is under fire, I mean, जिसे कहते हैं ना hypocrisy की भी limit होती है. She's under fire for not doing her job and actually protecting a principal who should be behind bars right now. She's writing to the Prime Minister and saying fast track all rape cases and ensure that within 15 days the trial is over and the man is hanged or whatever.
Good evening, Shreya, and thank you for having me. And of course, I mean, I don't know what kind of hypocrisy you are seeing on Mamata Banerjee's side and angle, because this is not the first time she's raising her voice. On the 9th of August, on the very first day when this incident happened, she said that she needs a fast track and the culprit should be hanged till death and the death penalty should happen. But again, Shreya, you know, it's very sensitive today, whatever you are saying, because I don't want to comment on this, because we have to be very careful what we quote and give any statement on television which might not be correct and inappropriate. I mean, because the case is going on inside the Honorable Supreme Court, and the Chief Justice and the opposition lawyers and the state lawyers, they all are talking about everything. I mean, who are we right now to discuss anything on the statement of Mamata Banerjee? I mean, I think she did a brilliant thing by writing it to the PM, because the Prime Minister
are we not citizens of India?
Prime Minister.
Are we not citizens of India? And don't we have the right to call out the hypocrisy of a chief minister and the incompetence and cover-up conspiracies of the system? If we don't do it, who will do it?
Prime Minister, if
of course he is responsible.
To write anything
of course he is responsible.
I'm happy to have such CM, Chief Minister, in my state, that she's being responsible to do everything. And if she's not done anything, the Honorable Supreme Court will take cognizance. The Honorable Supreme Court will take action against the state government.
The Honorable Supreme Court has asked them a string of questions.
Of course, we are answering.
You know, the fact is, if you're hearing...
I hope you know that.
No. If you heard what the Supreme Court has said today, Tausif, if you have heard what the Supreme Court has said today, they have said that they have not seen a case like this in 30 years.
Absolutely.
They want to know why there was a delay of 14 hours in filing an FIR. Why the crime scene was secured only after the autopsy, and under which law and in which country does an autopsy take place without a complaint? There are a string of very tough questions that have been asked. And to talk of hypocrisy, let me tell you why this is hypocrisy. Here is a principal under whose watch a young woman is raped and murdered. 1 minute. 1 minute. What is his first response? His first response is it was irresponsible for the girl to be sleeping in the seminar room. What does Mamata Banerjee do? She's under pressure. He's asked to leave. 1 minute. Mamata Banerjee is not under pressure. He's asked to leave. And she's...
Whoever said that has been
after
suspended.
Suspension. After that, what happened?
Said that they have been suspended.
No, after that, what happened?
He's
sent to NMC, another medical college. Students protest, so it's withdrawn. Now he has been posted. 1 minute. Now he has been posted in the health ministry as an OSD. That is democracy. No, I'm not the Chief Justice of India, but I'm a citizen of this country who has been questioning what has been happening in West Bengal and Maharashtra for the last 13 days.
No. Listen to me, Shreya. The Chief Justice of India is answering each and everything what you are questioning me. So the whole team of Sybil, they are answering each and every verbally and with documents as well, with the crime timeline, submitting the papers page 2, page 4 as well to the Chief Justice of India. I mean, you have no audacity. I have no capacity to right now sit on a national television and give justice to anyone or to say hypocrite to Mamata Banerjee. Because if someone has the audacity and capacity, is to the Chief Justice of India. If they think we are wrong, we will face the heat, we will face the punishment, and whatever happens in the state of West Bengal, we will face it. You don't have any audacity, no capacity, because the whole thing is inside the court now.
Doctor,
it will be inappropriate to give any
and the court is the one asking these questions, by the way.
I'm not on mirror now, right now.
I'm not giving a decision. No, I'm not giving a decision. I'm expressing an opinion. I, as a citizen of this country, have the right to express an opinion based on what I've seen in the last 13 days. But Dr. Nikhil Prasoon, your spokesperson of the BJP, would you want to respond? Take it. 1 minute. 1 minute. You know what is dangerous is that in our own hospital, a 31-year-old trainee doctor is first brutalized, then raped, and then killed, murdered. Is that misinformation? No, it is not.
Let me tell
It's
you
not
something.
misinformation, Tausif.
I know. I hope you heard what the
फेक न्यूज एक
CBI
चीज
said.
होती है, हम लोग फेक न्यूज नहीं फैलाते हैं.
Shreya, listen to me. Don't get
Dr.
angry. I'm
Nikhil
really
Prasoon,
sorry
I
if
heard
I'm
everything.
offending you. I'm really sorry if I'm
No,
offending you
the-
today. But it's not true. I mean,
It's
I don't want to
arrogance.
offend you for anything. But at the same time, CBI sources say that there is only one accused and there's no gang rape. And who got that accused? On the very
मैंने बोला
first day,
गैंग रेप है.
West Bengal
मैंने
government,
बोला गैंग
you
रेप
should
है.
appreciate that. You never appreciated that. The West Bengal government has done their job. The Kolkata police caught that Sanjay Roy. Give it to CBI.
Okay.
Who did that? The
ठीक है.
DNA
I
test
would
has
have gone to
matched.
this. एक minute.
Appreciate that.
I would have gone with this question to the BJP, but let me get in a professional opinion. Mr. PK Jain, you're a former additional DGP of Maharashtra. There are serious questions on the Maharashtra government and the Maharashtra police as well. And Namaskar sir, I'm going to come to that in just a bit. But as far as West Bengal is concerned, you're a professional police officer. Please tell me, as far as West Bengal is concerned, do you view that is coming in from the TMC spokesperson that the government did what it could and there was no attempt at a cover-up? That there is no hypocrisy in what they have done so far?
Shreya, thank you very much. See, at the outset, I would like to say the tone and demeanor of the representative from the TMC is absolutely sheer arrogance. It is, I mean, the kind of words, the body language is absolutely shameful, to say the least. This is an incident which has shaken the entire nation. As a professional, I would say there were number of lacuna in the investigation, in the initial response, both of the hospital, the dean, as well as the police officers. The delay in registering FIR is absolutely inexcusable. There's no reason why the FIR should have taken that long. Yes, the accused was arrested at that time, but a lot was left undone in terms of not protecting the scene of crime, destroying the scant evidence that was available there, and allowing the situation to go the way it has gone. Had the same response been very, very quick, probably the things would have been appreciated. Now it is all politics. Handing over to the CBI after 1 week, taking its own time. Either they should have stuck to their guns that they've arrested the accused and they will not hand it over. Unfortunately, they had to hand it over to the CBI under the orders of the High Court. So as a professional, I'm shamed. They are trying to defend the indefensible. The things are absolutely, everything is wrong with this case, with the initial investigation. It is a writ large kind of investigation is doomed right from day one. Now CBI will try to reconstruct and restructure whatever they can and will try to base their charge sheet on that. But the destruction of the scene of crime, so many people visiting, tampering with the scene of crime, it destroys the crucial evidence that would be available there. So let us now only hope that they can do something constructive out of it. And then the demeanor of the Commissioner of Police, unfortunately, is that he's trying to put the entire blame on media. I mean, media is doing its job, whether they are trying to scandalize it or otherwise. Media has been doing it for ages. So why blame the media? You do your professional job and be through with it. I mean, why? I mean, here is an officer who's already under a shadow for being close to the chief minister. And inquiries against has been ordered against him, which the state government has not started. And then he comes out with all kind of whips. And then the dean, to say the least, he was shifted from this hospital under pressure, made a dean of another hospital. So bloody shameful, part of the state government. I mean, you are trying to protect a guy who
and now he has been
reported
posted as the OSD in the health department.
Yes, that's right. So, I mean, whom are they trying to defend?
And you know what is most mind-boggling for me? No, my question is, what are they trying to cover up? Because the first instinct of our politicians, of our police, of our institutions is cover up. Whether it is happening in West Bengal or whether it happened in Maharashtra with the police in the school. Dr. Nikhil Prasoon, I'll come to Maharashtra in just a bit. But Tausif is saying we did what we can. Where is the cover up? She has done what she could. Cover up kahan hai?
Well,
you are politicizing it.
Look,
you're politicizing everything.
The whole thing, when the whole, this unfortunate incident that has shaken the conscience of the whole nation, I think
the state government has to take the responsibility for all this because of the fact that the state government has remained in a state of perennial denial so far as the dereliction of duty is concerned. But if you analyze the things microscopically and in details, you will see what are the failures of the state government, the whole thing. First of all, this incident could not be prevented. This is failure number one. Number two, they were informed, the parents were informed that the girl is sick. This is failure number two. Number three, they were told that she has committed suicide. This is failure number three. Number four, the parents were asked to, stand for 3 hours before, they were made to see the face of the girl. That is failure number four. And after that, the botched up investigation, the shoddy investigation that followed, and later on, after 10 hours, at 11:45, the FIR was launched. That is, and the cremation was executed so precipitously, as if there is something big to be hidden. Now, apart from that, the second aspect is related to the principal. The principal initially was, not asked to be proceeded on leave. It was only after the intervention of the Honorable High Court, and he is now has been appointed probably as the OSD in the Swasthya Bhavan. Now, principal is getting rewarded despite all this brouhaha about this particular topic throughout the world. Now, third part that the principal was complained against. There are 14, 15 complaints against the principal, and that was lodged in 2023 by the assistant medical super Asghar Ali. So he lodged these complaints, and they are related to siphoning off of the money, 20% commission from the vendor. Very grave allegations regarding.
Prasunji, you are saying it. I am not saying it.
Disposal and all those
you are
things.
making allegations which are not verified.
But these are
you are making allegations that are not verified.
SIT has been made by the government of West Bengal on these allegations. This SIT could have been made earlier as well. This time around, they have made this SIT only to prevent this guy from getting arrested by CBI, so that to keep in some kind of protective shield. So this is something, the whole saga, and it may be surprising to all of you. So far as the reaction of the West Bengal government is, but not surprising for us in Kolkata. Now, what happened in Park Street rape? It was branded to be a fabricated affair. Every rape case is, it's branded to be a love affair gone sour. So that is the habit. A 70 years old nun was raped. In especially what happened after
you are
that?
Right.
Even in the mid of the night, you
are right.
Ladies, they were asked to go to the party office, making pithe for them, all those
But
things.
it's not just West Bengal, na?
Ladies who came up and protested.
Dr. Prasoon, since you are counting the cover-ups, cover-ups in West Bengal, let's also count the cover-ups in Maharashtra, where your government is in power, where a 3-year-old is raped in her own school and a 4-year-old is sexually assaulted, but the second case is not even put in the FIR, where when the parents go and show the medical report of the girl to the school's principal and teacher, they are said, nahi, there's a denial, nahi, it may have happened outside school, it may have happened because she rides bicycles. Where
actually,
parents, including a pregnant mother, is made to wait for 12 hours before an FIR is filed. तो कवर अप्स अगर गिनाने हैं ना, तो वेस्ट बंगाल के साथ साथ महाराष्ट्र के भी उतने ही कवर अप्स हैं.
मैं बोलता हूं, मैं इसकी घोर निंदा. It has
the
to be
system
condemned
fails us everywhere, whether it's a
there.
BJP ruled state or an opposition ruled state.
But the difference here is that there is no evidence of any collusion or connivance on the part of the state administration, so far as the case in Maharashtra is concerned. Here, in this particular case, there is a saga of steps which have been taken by the state government, which are indicative of the connivance. State
Clyde
government
Crasto, I think, would like to come in here.
Accomplice in this case. That's the basic difference.
Okay. No, in Maharashtra, it can be said the same. Clyde Crasto, would you want to come in here?
Maharashtra government did not try to save anyone. They have not been trying to save. Here, the principal and all those people, they are still in the process of being saved. It was only after the agitation by the
Wait, let Clyde come in, please. Let Clyde come in. Ho gaya. Clyde, can you hear me?
Yeah, Shreya, I can hear you.
Clyde,
I was just
can you hear
checking
me?
with the PCR if you knew I was on the debate, because I've been sitting here for 40 minutes. No, I'm
No.
here last 40 minutes.
I do. I
was just checking with the
apologize.
PCR if
Go
you
ahead.
knew I was on the debate. Yeah, so I was just checking. No, so
I know
please
that,
tell me
Clyde. I
what
can
your
see
question
you. I
is, because
apologize.
can
Go
hear
ahead.
I've been sitting for 40 minutes.
My
Okay, no problem.
My
I was
question
just
is that Dr. Prasoon is saying there is a difference between difference between Maharashtra and West Bengal. In West Bengal, there is a clear case of collusion with the state. This is what the BJP spokesperson is saying. But there is no collusion. There is no evidence of collusion of the state with what has happened in Badlapur. This is his claim. I want you to come in and debunk it.
Shreya, I'm going to be very, very blunt and very clear in my thoughts. Anybody, whether it's the Kolkata government, or Bengal government, or people in Kolkata or in Badlapur in Maharashtra, if anybody is supporting anything to do with heinous crimes like these, are sick people. Anybody, whether it's my supported party or not, in alliance, not in alliance, anybody supporting these kind of people are sick in the mind. How can you even justify anything that has got to do with what has happened in Kolkata or in Badlapur? Even in Kolkata, if there was delay by the police, then the Home Department is responsible. They need to be pulled up. And the same thing that is happening in Maharashtra and Badlapur, the police took 12 hours to register case. They were so quick to register cases against those who are seeking justice and protesting at Badlapur railway station. 300 people, cases were filed against them. How come they were so fast? And there are links of the BJP with that school in Badlapur, and you have a public prosecutor who was a candidate of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Ujjwal Nikam. I mean, what is going on in this whole system? So I'm not going to say that, oh, they are from, Mamata Banerjee's party, or they are from BJP's party. Anybody supporting this kind of people need to be condemned, and they have to be sick in the mind. As simple as that. Again, let me tell you one thing. Now we are talking about Maharashtra. Very simple. In 2020, the Shakti Act 2020 criminal law was passed by both houses of the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly. Both houses. And everybody agreed with it. It has been 2020, now we are in 2024. The whole thing has not been passed. It's waiting for an assent from the Honorable President of India. The Maharashtra government is led by BJP. The center government is led by BJP. Why are they not doing it? And I'll tell you why they are not doing it. They are not doing it because the Mahavikas Aghadi in 2020 passed the Shakti Act. And if the acts are passed, they think that the credit will go to the Mahavikas Aghadi. Let me tell you, there's no credit taking here. This is a for women and children. And you should be ashamed if you're going to make it political. And I'll tell you a few points from that law. The laws were so good that the probes have to be completed in 15 days. The case should be completed in 30 days. These are the provisions there. If you threaten the woman after heinous crime is committed, and it's proved 2 years imprisonment and 2 lakh. Let me tell you two more points. Let me tell you, there is even provision for death penalty in that. Okay, so these kind of things that have been there. So why are we politicizing this? Strict action has to be taken. You have to go for these people. They cannot be allowed to even live in this society. I mean, 4-year-old, I'm a parent.
Okay,
4-year-old children. And one more point. You cannot let the principal go scot-free of that school. What was a male attendant doing with female children, small girl children, for 15 minutes in the toilets? Why was there no lady attendant? The principal needs to be pulled up. That's what the point is. The principal needs to be pulled up. The lady who did not file the FIR for 12 hours, she was first, she was transferred first, then there was pressure, then she was suspended. All these people need to give an answer. Home Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, also is answerable. He needs to answer why these lacunae and all these things were done in the first place.
The last word on this show has to be the police officer. Mr. P.K. Jain, just look at Badlapur. We've seen Kolkata, just look at Badlapur. An FIR is registered after 12 hours. The police makes the parents wait for 12 hours. The mother is pregnant. Can you imagine the trauma? Her 3-year-old has been raped and she's made to wait for 12 hours. She's made to feel essentially like a criminal. Then in the FIR, the second case where a 4-year-old girl has been sexually molested by the very same man, that second girl has not even been named. That second case has not even been filed. When the parents go to the school, show them the medical report where the 3-year-old's hymen is broken, they say, she rides a bicycle. Tab ho gaya hoga. My point is, why is the first and basic instinct of the system, whether it's the school, whether it's the police or it's the politicians, crime hai to usko brush it under the carpet. Don't let it come to light only. As a citizen, I feel their first attempt is not to give justice to the victim. It's to save their own skin. And by doing so, they save the accused.
Absolutely, Shreya. In this case, as I said earlier, it is indefensible that SHO, being a lady, was absolutely insensitive to this case, and she has not come up to the expectations at all. Rightly, she has been placed under suspension. I really wish that she would have had a boss like me and she would have been dismissed from service now. I mean, this, as I said, this case is absolutely indefensible.
Okay.
The response of the school is absolutely wretched. I mean, they have tried to, I can understand, they try to save the reputation of their school, but at what cost? They should have immediately reported the matter to the police and taken to its logical conclusion, which was not done. As my earlier panel said, in the case of
Okay.
Maharashtra government, it is only that the government has not sided with any or not tried to protect any of these criminals. They have come out very heavily. They have been public statements. They have been public posturing on that, saying that maximum punishment should be awarded. The case will be fast-tracked and all that. Now, coming to Mr. Ujjwal Nikam. Mr. Ujjwal Nikam is
No,
a
no,
very,
but-
very fine advocate all this time. One of my earlier panelists said that he contested on the BJP ticket. We have Mr. Kapil Singh,
Conflict of
Sibal.
interest.
We have Mr.
Yeah.
Singhvi, who are from Congress, and they are fighting cases on that behalf of that party and the government for years and decades now. So there's nothing wrong with Mr. Nikam, who upholds a very high ethical and moral standard
fair
to be
point.
appointed as a special PP. Ji.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Jain, we leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much for joining us. Clyde, thank you very much for being with us on the show. Tawsifur Rahman, thank you very much. And
Thank
Dr.
you.
Nikhil Prasoon, thank you very much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm slipping into a quick break on the show. Coming next is actor, activist and mother Raveena Tandon talking to us about what has absolutely horrified her about Kolkata and Badlapur. That's up next. Do stay with us.